All right, Shalom, Kahalayim La, Yahweh, Shemel, Shabbat, Shmuel, Kakodash, double honors to the apostles and to the elders of great wisdom, plus peace and love to all the brothers that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. Shalom, this the brother Batak back at you again through the spirit, with a quick lesson concerning Albert Fish, because, back in between the mid 60s to like the 90s, you had a lot of serial killers. That was like an era of serial killers. Maybe from the 70s up to the 90s, that 2 decade period, maybe 3 decade period, you had a lot of serial killers. And even before that, Albert Fish, he was active from May 19th, 1870 to January 16, 1936. But, in that era of the 1900s, there was a lot of serial killers, man. And there was mostly Edomites. And I wanted to focus particularly on this, Albert Fish, because he was a cannibal too. Because originally this lesson is about cannibalism. I just wanted to get a serial killer, and let, see people see, that this spirit is for me brought back into the earth. This heavy murder spirit, cannibal spirit is going to be brought back too. If you don't know what a cannibal is, a cannibal is a human that eats human flesh. A savage cannibal. So that's basically what, a cannibal is. So the Lord is finna bring cannibalism back because, there's going to be a shortage of food and people are going to resort to cannibalism. And I want to get a couple scriptures that backs that up. Jeremiah also has, Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9, it says, and I will cause them to eat. That's like it says. I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, and I will make this city desolate and hissing. Everyone that passes thereby shall be astonished and hiss because of the plagues thereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. Why? Because there's going to be a shortage of food. Just like in 70 AD when Jerusalem was ramsacked, they starved them out first. They cut off their supply lines and their resource lines and starved them out, made them weak. And they ended up, committing cannibalism. Lord willing, I could find that account. But first, let me get this real quick. Okay, it says Hampton Howard Albert Fish was an American serial killer, child rapist, and cannibal. That's the one I want to focus on. He was a cannibal. It says Fish once boasted that he had children in every state, and at one time his number of victims was about 100. However, it's not known whether he was referring to rapes or cannibalization, nor it is known if the statement was truthful. So he, most importantly, he used to eat his victims, most likely. And there were many cannibal serial killers, that love to eat people. This is one of them, Peter Bryan. It says Peter Bryan as the lesser known cannibal murderer. Peter Bryan is an English serial killer who committed a total of 3 murders between 1993 and 2004. This dude, Peter Bryan, murdered his friend and it was eating his brain, man. See, look, it says it right here. Fried his best friends. Ugh, it's just disgusting, man. But majority of these victims of Edomites, I remember reading up about Tamara Samsonova. I remember reading up about her. She was big on cannibalism. She used to eat the hell out of her victims, man. And the Lord is finna bring this spirit back into the earth. People gonna resort to cannibalism. It says, Jeremiah 9 and 19 and 9, it says, and I will cause them to eat the flesh of their daughters and the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straightness wherewith their enemies and they that seek their lives shall straighten them. Then shalt thou break the bottle in the sight of men that go with thee. So the Lord did this to Jerusalem once before. You know, he did this to the nation of Israel once before. And guess what? He's going to do it again. Because these stores, these restaurants, they only have a 3-day supply of food. Once that 3-day supply of food runs out, people are going to resort to, eating everything they can, They're going to vandalize and try to find themselves some food. They might eat zoo animals or, birds, squirrels, raccoons until, they run out of those things. And then they're going to start eating each other, man. Especially it's a whole lot of obese people in America, man. They're going to be food, man. Y'all going to be a big fat meal for a whole family, It was one in Ezekiel. No, it was one in Ezekiel about eating the flesh. I thought it was one in Ezekiel, but, this is what, people are going to resort to, it's a nasty thing, man, It's some in, let me get this Sodden. No, let me go to Lamentations, because in Lamentations it speaks about that. This is Lamentations 4, and bear with me, I gotta find the right verse. Verse 10, it says, the hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughters of my people. Oh yeah, and there will also account Salakia. There was a count in the scriptures where two women agreed to eat each other's kids. I forget where it was at though. Lord, when I can find it. Aha, here it is. 2 Kings 6:28. It says, let me go back. 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 25. It says, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of the cab of doves dung for 5 pieces of silver. And the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall. There cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if Yahweh do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, what ally thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. So this is going to happen again, man. There was a great famine. There's going to be another famine. Let me go back to Lamentations 4. That's an example of this scripture right here, verse 10. It says, the hands of the pitiful woman have sodden. That word sodden means to cook. Or bake or boil. It says soaked or softened in water. Resembled something that has been boiled a long time. Boiled, to cook, boil for sense, yeah. Heat and water. So there you go. Which is disgusting. I couldn't do that, man. Nah, I'd rather just, man, I couldn't do that, man. This is verse 10 again. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. Right, so this was judgment from the Lord. Yahweh Shem Shah, man. He causes these women to eat their children, man. They don't know how to fast anyways. Women in that day, in the day of calamity, man, these women got all these kids. They're going to be fed real good, man. They already hate their kids. All they're going to do is cook them up and stew their ass and eat them. Ah, man, that's just sick. It's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels, but it is what it is, man. In a time of trouble, people are gonna resort to cannibalism. But the men of the Lord gonna have to go through that shit, man. Because what the Lord gonna provide for his servants. Let me get that real quick. The Lord don't want us out there doing that shit, man. This is verse Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So we ain't, the elect ain't gonna have to worry about, cooking their damn children, man. That's a judgment from the Lord to you wicked motherfuckers out there, man. You know, you know. So y'all gonna the 2/3 is the ones that's gonna be cooking each other's children, man. Because the Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna provide for his elect. Might cause him to run up on a gazelle and he killed the gazelle. Hey, you never know what the Lord can do. Hey, what the scripture says. Let me get it real quick. I love bringing out this scripture, man. It's my favorite scripture. Luke 1:37. For with the Most High, nothing shall be impossible. So anything is possible with the Lord, man. Just got to believe in him. Believe in his name, believe in his duties, believe in his power, and everything that you believe in, it will come to pass, man. Because you got to have faith. Hey, faith pleases the Lord, man. So, with that, man, I hope you brothers are edified through this, quick lesson through the spirit about cannibalism. It's coming back in a big way, man, a major way, because, these stores is going to run out of food and people going to be real hungry. You seen that in the movie, what's that movie called? With Denzel Washington. It's escaping right now, the name of it. Damn, what's the name of that damn movie? The Book of Eli. The Book of Eli. There it is. The Book of Eli. I love that movie. But, in that movie, you seen that people was eating each other, man. Resorting to cannibalism because there wasn't no food out there. And that's going to happen here in America and in other places of the world, And even in other places of the world, you have certain tribes and people that they do eat people for a living, man. They eat people for a living. You're not from around there, you ain't gonna be stewed up. They also show you that in that movie Green Inferno. Check that movie out. It's disgusting, man. How they cook and eat people, man. That's disgusting. So with that, I hope you was edified with this lesson. I want to say shalom, kwam yashala, wa ba ba ba, wa ba adawam, shalom.